I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Moon, Deep Space, the Moon.
Welcome to your Leo New Moon reading. If you're listening to this only, you are getting less than half of Great Mother's message to you for this Leo New Moon. All signs have their gifts that they give to us, and gifts that we give to each other through our emotional orientation each month. It waxes and wanes, but Leo is ruled by the sun, and if nothing else, everyone knows their sun sign. There's a reason for that. So you want to go ahead, if you don't have time now, copy the link below or click into the link below. It goes to the Mama Drama Trauma channel. Want to subscribe to that for these types of longer videos that get into the meat of Mama Drama Trauma. This is a very important introduction to the Leo Virgo new moon. If you are in your current Sati, that means if you are Scorpio, Sagittarius, or Capricorn moon sign people in the Vedic astrology, this is a particularly important message for you because we're talking about the buildup from now until January of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Again, that video is at the Mama Drama Trauma channel. It's the introduction to the Leo new moon, what to do for the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Now, between now and then is a season of planting and reaping. So you want to know what that's about, and you also want to pay attention to if your moon sign is coming up in a new moon. In particular, we're going to have Virgo up next, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. In the meantime and in between time, you want to also look at full moon signs coming up in Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer in terms of full illumination and release. Very powerful time. This period is a seeding of the rest of your life, what the rest of your life is going to look like. And Great Mother's giving you a message about how to work with the supportive energy. Speaking of support, my gift via Great Mother to you is a free Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck. That's right, the newly revised Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck is now available. They're going to be shipped out as a Northern Hemisphere harvest. Happens for us September 14th. It's going to be sent out to you as a free gift. Now, there's a tutorial that is also a part of this gift between November 3rd and December 22nd. You choose Sunday or Monday nights which tutorial group you want to be a part of, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday and Monday between November 3rd and December 22nd, you're going to learn the 8 suits of the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck that aspire. We're always talking about those 6 lower or pip cards, as we say in traditional tarot, and the major arcana, ASPIRE, acknowledge, self-inquiry, processing, integrity, rebirth, and emancipation, in addition to the law cards. Of course, we have an angel card there, and the angels are working with all of us right now. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. Aries moon sign people, the work your soul wants to do this lunar cycle is on divine power and peace. In your center position is the balsamic moon card of emancipation. That is the E in the aspire. The emancipation suit is all about freeing ourselves from MDT mentality in a conscious way, in a way that we are actively dealing with the daily challenges that come as a result of a lifetime of shame, blame, and guilt conditioning. You have the emancipation card in your deck. All balsamic moon cards are aspire suit cards. And so with emancipation, you are downloading, perhaps even with this just balsamic moon right before the new moon here, a need to activate a sense of divine power and peace in your life. Power is derived from our divinity, the life force that animates this incarnation, our soul, our divinity. We are dearly loved, divine children of the great Mother, Father, God, who are never judged, condemned, or left alone. That is our power, and we choose to use it or not once we're aware of it. And we don't become aware of it until we get the memo. And that's what trauma is all about, be it MDT, be it daddy drama trauma, be it DDT, be it post-traumatic stress syndrome, of any number of ways of receiving it, from warfare to just simply being in a combative work environment. It's really mandatory that we receive the memo before we even know that we are divine. It forces us, in other words, it coerces us into a place of either giving up and letting the ego take over and letting our life spoil on the limb, or we, in the depths of despair, are able to pull out of ourselves through the assistance, more likely than not, of our angels, guides, and ancestors, the download that, hey, you are divine. You have power over this. I know the situation looks like it's really got you. And yeah, you lost that round. You did. You almost got put out of here. But you are here. What are you going to do in this moment? That's the power. And the peace is just simply being at home with yourself, being free within yourself, expressing and living your life from a place of authenticity that enriches your divinity. And that's the birthright, to be happy, healthy, and whole. And so this is the work that your soul is really wanting your ego to align with this new moon, is this energy of emancipation, this beautiful lavender energy, this third eye energy. And Aries being ruled by Mars, of course, it's very important what's conjunct your moon sign, aspects of your moon sign, different configurations, because your lunar yogas are very, very unique and very particular. Because this new moon is fifth house energy for you, it's a very creative time. So you want to recognize that you're being freed up to create anew, because what's bringing this up is a desire to release shame, blame, and guilt. Ishel is a second chakra waxing gibbous moon card. Waxing gibbous is all about revising, reframing, editing a part of yourself in order to let in more joy, in order to facilitate what you desire coming into your life. Remember, with Great Mother energy, we're talking about emotion. Everything's in spirit before it's in form. This is where the juices are created for us to attract the material things in our lives. And so you're becoming more aware of that, or your soul is bringing this up because it's needing you to become more aware of the connection between the two, the connection between your internal life and you feeling empowered, truly empowered, and you feeling at peace. So those of you who are already feeling this way, it has come about as a result of you dealing with issues of shame, blame, and guilt, because what's in your shadow position is fear. Some of you may not realize that you have overcome a great deal of fear. You've made a conscious decision to say, wait a second, this conditioning of shame, blame, and guilt through MDT doesn't have me down. It did, or it could, for me not deciding to embrace my divinity, my power. And it's kind of that line that you're towing. And for others, of course, needing to create that line, needing to create that path in your life to feel more power and more peace. You need to realize that if you're not, it's out of a fear of really facing and acknowledging how shame, blame, and guilt plays out in your life today. Remember, our relationship with our mothers is the foundational relationship of all of our relationships in our lives. It's how we, quote unquote, do relationship, how we related with our mother, whether it's, a male or older man or younger child or whatever, how we were nurtured, how we were forgiven or listened to, understood, is how we share those qualities with others. Okay? And so if there's a fear in facing that, then there's a blockage with you feeling empowered and you feeling peaceful in your life. And so the opportunity with the energies that are culminating in your fifth house with the moon, the sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, your ruling planet, there's a great opportunity for you to really transcend that, because that's what you want in your desired position as Coventina, the waxing gibbous card of purification. Purification is the crucible of gold, metal becoming gold. It's the alchemy, rather, of metal becoming gold. It is the purification of diamonds. And you're wanting that process, which is not surprising. Aries often wants to bring it on. And this is your second waxing gibbous card, revising, reframing. So you're shifting things about you in order to facilitate the changes that you need to get what you desire, which is more freedom, which is more empowerment and more peace within yourself, to just simply enjoy your life, live your life beyond MDT. I'm getting a feeling that many of you are at this place where you're beginning to live your life beyond MDT, and you're just really kind of here for a re-up. You're just kind of here to kind of say, okay, yeah, this is kind of how I'm feeling, because it takes a while for us to reprogram ourselves. And what's supporting you in doing that, in the position of support, is Nefertiti. You are owning your beauty. Again, surprise for Aries moon sign people. The Nefertiti card is really about taking your power back from MDT, and you're being supported in doing that, Aries moon sign. You're being supported in being and speaking your truth, which is what emancipation is about. And Great Mother needs you to know that. She needs you to know that the light that you are beginning to shine as a result of your courage to be further purified is really shining through. And that's why you're being supported to own your beauty, is because that light is needed right now. And it's not about you imposing it. Your whole thing is an internal sense of emancipation. But through your internal emancipation, just vis-a-vis your presence, you're freeing other people, which is, again, something you're very familiar with, being Aries moon sign. And you are becoming more familiar with another aspect of that internal Aries power. Again, the true divine power of Aries, the source, the juice of those emotions, dealing with past shame, blame, and guilt in a way that filters it through the divinity lens, is what is truly freeing you and allowing you to own your beauty. Now, your present state of ego soul alignment is the law of divine father, the Dagda card. All divine father energy is expressed in the deck as the Great Father cards, the lawsuit. And the law of divine father is third quarter moon, which is about release, letting go, forgiveness. All of the cards are about release. They're all third quarter moon cards, because we always have to let go of something. And with MDT, we always have to let go of something in order to let something new in. So you have a lot of waxing gibbous moon energy, this revising, this reframing, in order to get what you desire, to make space internally to focus on that emancipation. The letting go with third quarter moon energy is all about the grieving process of letting go of the mother we want in order to accept the one we have. So letting go of the mother that we want to be nurturing, that we want to be compassionate, that we want to be caring, that we want to be understanding, and accepting the one that we have who was not that, because she was not understood, she was not nurtured, she was not properly cared for, she was abandoned, she was abused. She can only give what she has to give. Then we heal. So those are all of the law cards. And so when you get the Law of Divine Father card from the Great Father suit, the Dagda, this cauldron second chakra energy, double yin, is saying to you, it's time for you to really own the intuitive downloads that you're receiving and create your life from it. Great Father energy, Yang energy, is all about doing. And this phase between this Leo new moon to the January 12th Saturn-Pluto conjunction is all about planting these seeds from our intuitive unction, from the downloads we've received over the last several months, which is what the new moon Leo introduction video goes into. There's been a period up to this new moon that has really redefined us. And you will see more of this as Saturn goes direct on the 18th. Now, this is important because Saturn rules the root chakra. You have two root chakra cards. That Kali fear card is a root chakra card. And so as Saturn goes direct, you want to be aware of where you are with fear. Are you in the camp that it's in the shadow position still by that time, and you still really haven't started dealing with the shame, blame, and guilt issues? When Saturn goes direct, it'll show you exactly where those areas are if you're not clear. If you are in the camp where, yes, it's in your shadow position, you don't realize that you have dealt with your shame, blame, and guilt issues because you have faced your fear, then what Saturn is going to do at that time is really show you the rewards of doing that internal work through experiences of divinity, emancipation, through peace, etc. So that is your present state of ego soul alignment. You are aligning with the intuitive downloads to create the life that you want. This is double yin second chakra energy. And the cauldron of Dagda is all about preparing, always having this perennial feast prepared for anyone who stops by, be it your soldiers that serve you or your triune goddess daughters having a harvest celebration or whatever. You are prepared to celebrate life because you are living it according to your intuitive guidance, which isn't easy. It's always about overcoming fears because everything is in spirit before it's in form. We look for confirmation in form, but as we live our divinity identity, we act on intuition. Why your soul wants to do this work of emancipation, Aries moon sign people, is because of this personal power. You're ready to tap into the true personal power. This is the gut chakra wax and gibbous moon card. So you have 3 wax and gibbous moon cards. You're doing a lot of personal revision. And this is making way for this purification process to occur with regard to your divinity identity, living from that, owning those intuitive downloads, acting on those things. This is why your soul wants to do this work. The Lilith card is all about accepting our birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. You're in the process of accepting that. That's peace, because that is where we define for ourselves what our desires in our life are, not in a desirous way that we crave things in order to make us happy, but living from a place that we know that it is our birthright to be happy. And so as life happens, as we go about our daily life, we make our choices based on that. We react to situations based on that. We create opportunities for ourselves based on that. And regardless of the outcome of those situations, we respond to them based on that. Our birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. Those are the ruby red slippers. And that's what Dorothy was doing from the time she donned them. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Some weird folks might show up along that road, reflecting to us issues within ourselves, but we can respond with an attitude, or as Dorothy did, like, hey, I'm going to get my stuff worked out. That's what path I'm on. You can come if you want, And so why your soul wants to do this work is to be empowered in that way. Gut chakra is ruled by Mars. It's the only gut chakra card you have in your spread. And so this is coming through very clearly as the Martian energy that is supporting your moon sign at this time conjunct Venus and the moon. So it's a very balancing energy of power. Okay, the two shoes, the ruby red root chakra grounding this power of divinity in the world. I'm so excited for you. Now, how your soul wants to do this work is by dealing with that sense of unsafety and insecurity that comes up, and that's rage. Now, rage is very useful because as we become friends with it, we can hear what it's trying to tell us about where we need to revise, how we need to reframe our perception of ourselves in order to embrace our divinity more and more and more. Rage is suppressed anger. Sometimes we just don't have time to be mad at someone. We have to go on and do something else. We have other things to do. And sometimes we just don't want to deal with anger, or we don't have the capacity to address anger. We don't believe that the outcome is going to be what we want it to be. There are any number of reasons that we don't directly address anger. And I'm not talking about whether or not it is expressed or not. Many times people express anger very violently and they never address the issue. All we have to do is look at what's been going on in the Middle East for, thousands of years, which is touched upon in the introduction video that is about the Saturn-Pluto conjunction coming up in this season between now and January 12th. There are certain energies, certain archetypes, certain patterns that shift every time this conjunction occurs. And that has been one that has lingered as a result of daddy drama trauma. And it's something that we don't address, just like mama drama trauma is a taboo. And so this is the rage. Eventually it is expressed. And then we have these perennial holy wars, right? So what holy war is going on within you right now, Aries, as it relates to you being able to fully embrace this divinity identity, to you fully being able to be at peace with the reality that you are a dearly loved child of the great Mother, Father, God, who's never judged, condemned, or left alone? Because remember, you are going through a purification process, and it looks like what's assisting you in that process is whatever suppressed anger you may have around needing to mother yourself in that way. A great mother will make sure that her child knows that it's dearly loved, that it's divine, that it's never judged, condemned. Yes, there's consequences for your behavior, sweetheart, but we love you unconditionally. We'll never leave you. But that's not the mother we have, in terms of our birth mother, our material mother. That's the mother we have with great mother. And so there may be some frustration with having to make that jump from the birth mother to great mother. That is a transition that takes time, and it does elicit a great deal of anger. In my practice, I call it the phase of LTBS, a low tolerance for bullshit. And that's really kind of what happens. There's a tendency to have all this nice stuff on the surface because the work does engender a lot of results. But underneath it, there can be like this searing rage. And your reading from Great Mother, your message is saying she wants you to work through that rage. She wants you to acknowledge it because that is your crucible of purification. Okay, that's what you desire. That's in your desired position. Coventina is purification. And how your soul wants to do that is through working through that rage, pulling it up, with the breath, observing it, and really seeing the things that you're upset about and why it's ungrounding you, why these things are making you feel insecure, and whether or not what you believe about those things is true in relationship to your divinity. Is it true that you need to have, the cosine of XYZ? We'll get into that a little bit in a minute with your suggested new moon wishes, because that's what the new moon is for what comes up for us to use the energy of Great Mother to support us in moving forward the lunar cycle. Your likely outcome as a result of doing that work, Aries moon sign, is Rhiannon. Rhiannon is the first quarter moon second chakra card. Second chakra is all about our desires, what we want. First quarter moon is making the conscious decision to face the challenge of manifesting those, and self-doubt through Rhiannon can be a challenge. So as your final outcome, you may be tempted to veer off course from your emancipation. But there's really no such thing as veering off course. This is a perceptual thing. And Great Mother wants you to know, just like Scarecrow told Dorothy when she arrived on the path, when she asked, "Which way do I go?" He said, "Any path that take you there, it doesn't matter." So a sense of self-judgment and self-condemnation will not serve you. That's the outcome. When you have feelings of insecurity about facing the challenge of owning your divinity and being at peace with that, don't give up. If you feel that the choices that you're making are not the best, may not be serving you, you're in a process of purification. So things are being burned off. You have, again, 3 waxing gibbous moon cards. You're coming up to the full moon. And so your full moon reading will be interesting. But the self-doubt first quarter moon card is right before the waxing gibbous. And so there's perhaps this lunar cycle, and from now until the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, a feeling of maybe taking a step back. You've taken 2 steps forward, and then there's 1 step back. And this is only if you are not addressing these root chakra issues of rage and fear. Again, Saturn, the ruler of the root chakra, will go direct next month on the 18th. These things will become much more clear to you. This is why this is called a season. Things are happening. Jupiter's moving December 2nd. There's an eclipse December 26th. There are things happening with regard to this energetically in terms of your support. Second chakra is ruled by Jupiter, is what I'm trying to say. And Jupiter leaves Scorpio and goes into Sagittarius on the 2nd of December. And so it's been in Scorpio, ruled by Mars. And that has a particular 6th house dynamic for you. But this new moon being in the 5th house, there's a lot of creative potential. So let's see what that creative potential is about, with an outcome of self-doubt, because many of you are going to be overcoming this sense of self-doubt. I have a feeling that many of you are here for confirmation about the path that you're on. And so your outcome is going to be overcoming that sense of, even though you don't have the material confirmation of the direction that you're going, you're trusting it anyway. You're trusting it anyway, and you're turning self-doubt on its head. So that's what I like to see. So get a pencil and paper. You have some suggested new moon wishes coming up. They're made using the Virgo new moon in the Western astrology. Of course, our wishes, our desires are egoic, and we make them from the Western astrology because it's earth-centric, ego-oriented, which is very useful in aligning ego desires with soul intent. These are your suggested Virgo new moon wishes. Remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too. Virgo rules creative organization, including orderly environments, handling details, efficiency and planning, paperwork, punctuality. These are sample wishes to begin creating efficient systems and order. Might want to get that pencil and paper out to jot down whatever strikes your spirit for your new moon wish in Virgo. I want to easily find myself creating neatness and order in my home. I want to easily find myself paying my bills on the blank day of each month. I want to easily find myself organizing my paperwork, completing all filing, and throwing away whatever I no longer need. I want the habit of being late easily lifted from me. I want to easily find myself restoring my environment to order on a daily basis. I want all resistance to cleaning up the mess easily lifted from me. I want clear planning that will empower me to successfully reach my goal of fill in the blank.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit.